Do have a jam-packed show for you, and we're going to start with some pretty important topics on this Monday. We have James E. Lee, who is standing by here this morning. He is the president of the Identity Theft Resource Center. Good morning, Mr. Lee. Good to see you.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We are doing great. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us this morning because this is such an important topic. We had you on our morning show last week because we were talking about that Carnival Cruise Line breach. Let's start with that if we can and talk about if folks get those dreaded emails that say your personal information has been compromised. What are you supposed to do?
Well, with this particular breach, when we're talking about Carnival Cruise Lines, there's a little bit different than what you would normally do, and that's because you have to be on the lookout for people now trying to say, oh, hey, your travel reservation has been changed, or I need you to confirm a travel reservation. You may or may not have made one, but they're going to try to get you to go ahead and say, oh, maybe you do have one, and you have to validate that reservation. So you're going to get inundated with all kinds of spam and attempts to force you to confirm a reservation so they can get your credit card number.
Yes, it is.
Or they can get your passport. You can get your driver's license. They want all manner of information from you. And this is a great excuse, especially this time of the year when people are beginning to travel for the summer. It's a great excuse for them to go ahead and steal more of your personal information.
Overall, in general, I'm not just with this data breach, but I feel like we get so many emails now. I get them from like PayPal. I don't have a PayPal account, but it'll be an email saying, thank you so much for your order of $535 for XYZ. And every time I get one, I panic and I send it to my husband. He's like, it's a scam. Relax. Don't click on anything. But people don't necessarily know not to click. They're so good.
They are. They're very believable now, more so than they ever have been. And that's thanks to AI. Not only can they make it look real, they make it sound real because they have AI writing the actual sort of script, if you will, of what it is they're supposed to do and say. So those emails you get, those texts you get, and if you get a phone call, they're all so much more realistic than they ever have been. And that's the problem, is we can't tell anymore whether what's real and what's not. We can't trust our eyes. So now we have to kind of change what we've always said, which was, go to the source and verify that. That's still good information, but being able to look at something and say, the bad grammar, the bad spelling, the fuzzy logo, that doesn't work anymore.
Is there a population who you would say is more vulnerable than others? Whether it's people, above 80, people, teens, everyone's getting these. I guess they're getting targeted.
Everybody is targeted. If you have a pulse, you're a target.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to surprise you a little bit here. The people who are most vulnerable to attacks are actually younger people. People who are 30 and younger are attacked more frequently and fall victim more frequently than older people. Now, older people lose more money. That's because we've lived longer. We have more resources. But so if we are attacked and we fall victim, there tends to be a higher loss. But just sheer volume of people falling for scams and fraud and identity theft, it's actually younger people. But everybody is a target.
James, you had some great tips when we talked to you about easy things that are free that we can do right now to kind of protect ourselves from having our identity stolen. Can you walk through those, like some of the biggest ones that folks need to do?
Yeah, the biggest one is freeze your credit. Even if you think you're going to use your credit, it is so easy to thaw it and then refreeze it than it ever has been. And that's free. It only takes a couple of minutes to freeze it. It only takes a couple of minutes to thaw it. And you can use your credit again and then refreeze it. Right? Why is that important? Because freezing your credit is the only thing you can do to actually stop something from happening. Credit monitoring is great, but it tells you what happened. Freezing your credit actually stops someone from being able to open up an account with your information that involves your credit. And it can be other kinds of information too, for background checks, for insurance. There are other types of freezes you can also put in place. And so it's really important that you freeze your credit and freeze the other kinds of information when you can.
How do you freeze that? And then how long are you freezing for? Sorry.
So if you're freezing your credit, it's frozen until you thaw it. It is frozen and for all time until you take that off, whether permanently or temporarily. But again, you can do it online or you can do it by the phone very easily, very quickly, with no cost and no impact to your credit score. A lot of people think that impacts your credit score. It does not.
Okay.
And it stops people from impersonating you.
Okay. But you do need to go to all three of like the credit recording companies, right, to freeze and unfreeze?
Yeah.
Okay.
Each one has their own little process. So yeah, you have to go to Experian, to Equifax, and to TransUnion.
Okay.
But it's easy today.
Okay.
It used to be hard and it used to be expensive. Not anymore.
Okay.
So that was point number one, and then you had two other things you could do that are free and that will help people.
Yeah, free. You can check your own credit. You can do it once a week now. And same situation where you used to have to pay for that, and it was limited into a couple of times a year. Now you can do it every week if you want to. And that's a way that you can monitor your credit to see if anybody has opened up any new accounts that you don't know about, or is using an existing account in a way you don't know about. So that's free, and that's important.
Okay.
The other free thing is make sure you're not reusing passwords. And in fact, you should move from passwords to something called Passkeys. You've probably already seen that, where you are asked, do you want to set up a passkey? And when you see that, you want to say yes. And here's why. Unlike a password, they can be compromised. You can actually give it to somebody, or if they get a hold of your device, or your phone, your tablet, your laptop, they can steal that password from you. And if there's a data breach at a company where you have a password, it can be stolen there in a data breach. But with a passkey, it's fundamentally different technology. It's nothing you have to remember. You never see the code, and it's never stored at where the account is. So it can be compromised in a data breach, and you can't self-compromise if you accidentally click on something or if you accidentally give it away to somebody who turns out to be a scammer. So passkeys are very important, and they are free.
Okay, James, can we circle back real quick? You said to get your credit report and check it to make sure that there's nothing that looks weird, out of the ordinary. My question is, if you do see something, who do you call to get more information about what that is and and then what's the process of getting that removed from your credit report? Because I know that can be difficult as well.
Yeah, great question, because it can be very difficult sometimes, especially if it's involving like a child. If your child's identity has been stolen and now all of a sudden they have a credit report, it is kind of a difficult process. So the first thing you do is you contact your financial institution wherever that account is. So if it's a bank account, a credit card account, contact them and make sure they're aware that you believe you've been compromised.
Okay. James, we're getting
Contact the credit bureau.
Contact credit bureau. We're getting some comments in the chat about credit cards versus debit cards. Is there one that's better than the other? My husband is constantly telling me, don't use the debit card. Put things on the credit card because it's easier to be You'll be better protected and easier to fight it that way.
It is better to use a credit card because either under federal law, there's a limit. If you report fraud within a certain number of days, your amount of loss is capped. But a lot of banks, though, will also honor that same kind of process for debit cards. So it's important for you to check with your own bank who issued the debit card. What do you do if there's fraud on my debit card? Because a lot of times they'll do the same thing for credit cards and debit cards. But you don't have the legal protection that you do with a credit card.
Some great tips, James. If folks wanted to reach out to you or find more information, how can they find you?
Easiest way to contact us, and we certainly hope you do if you have any questions or if you've become a victim, is idtheftcenter.org. And you can find our phone number there, but you can also live chat with us because not everybody wants to talk on the phone these days. Or you can text to chat with us. All that is right there on that website, idtheftcenter.org. All
right. Great info. Thank
really
you
great
so much.
info.
We'll have you back on again soon if you don't mind.
Anytime. Happy to help.
All right. We appreciate it. Thanks. Have a great rest of your Monday.